The views, information, or opinions expressed during the Geeks Under the Influence podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of RVA Magazine, Loot Crate, amzn.to, or their employees. Listener discretion is advised. Fuck off if you don't like it.
Geeks Under the Influence.
No, what'll actually might fix it is killing Shia LaBeouf.
That's what I'm saying.
That would save the world, really.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I don't know. His crazy might come in handy in
I
some
don't know.
parts.
He's protecting us from Nazis, apparently.
So I'm
you
down
know,
for that. I'm
yeah,
good for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
the
never
enemy
thought of
of
that
your
connection.
enemy is your friend. That's the thing. So
I never thought of that connection. Like he was
He's
his
just
son,
still a character.
and then he was in character and just like yelling at Nazis.
where it's like
Where's this leather jacket?
Right?
Keanu Reeves planned so much for Bill and Ted that he became that character for the rest of his life. Was the same thing with Shia LaDouche.
That's called marijuana. So.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And I don't know, man. There was no Ted and John Wick 2, bro. It was just straight murder. Straight murder.
I still need to see John Wick
You
2.
do.
I'm so excited.
Same
So do I.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Once it
I'm
hits
the only one
the
that's
bird.
seen it. No. Anthony's with me. He's seen it.
This movie's fucking. It's like gun porn masturbation.
Seriously, it's just.
I like Grutz's review. Oh yeah.
It was just that good.
It should just
Every
be the
little detail.
one-word review. Whoa. Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. We are not talking about John Wick. We are not talking about Keanu Reeves. We are talking about all things Indiana Jones,
Yes, we are.
a series of movies that belongs in a museum. In my personal opinion, the greatest adventure movie of all time. Not maybe necessarily my favorite action movie of all time, but
Adventure.
as far as adventure movies go, it's the be all end all. It's everything. So that's what we were to talk about on this episode of Geeks Under the Influence, episode 94. Getting so close. Getting so close. So thank you guys for watching and listening. Welcome. Yay! Yay! I'm so excited about this episode. This is one of the things that we talked about doing an episode on when we wrote our first list of episodes at the beginning of the podcast. And we're finally getting to it around episode 100 of Geeks Under the Influence. So
There's a lot of things like that are going to pop up. Like
oh,
that.
yeah, definitely. But I'm glad that we finally got to it when the audio sounds good, when we got video going, when we've got, good panelists to be on an episode all about this shit. So I'm more than happy to get this shit started. I'm Mike the Hobbit Bickett, host of Geeks Under the Influence. You can find me on Twitter at Mike Bickett. Or you can also find me on Trivia Nights at Wonderland and Fallout. Wonderland is every first and third Monday, and or Fallout is every first and third Monday. Wonderland is every second and fourth Tuesday. So come join the fun, 8 to 10. And it's always a blast. Nerdtastic and drunken debauchery abounds. So check it out. And next to me on my left is the Sexual Chocolate. The giant rolling rock to my running the fuck out of a cave as fast as possible.
I was gonna say the Brody to your indie, but
My short round.
Really? You're short and round. How the fuck is that me?
Mr. Lowdown Brown MacGyver is here.
No time for love, Hobbit. Oh, what's up, guys?
Not when we're podcasting.
Now we're
No,
podcasting.
So, as always, thank you so much for joining. I know that you're as big a fan of Indiana Jones as I am. So,
Dude, yeah.
we're all of the age where we loved the shit out of this when we were kids.
Absolutely.
I mean, it
Pretty
was
much.
like our thing along with Star Wars. It was like around the same time that we just discovered
that was
all this shit.
the trilogies, man. Like,
Yeah.
you'd watch one, and then like you'd have to watch first two until Last Crusade came out, and later on.
Yeah.
But
And next to Lowdown Brown is the guy that Indy would punch if he saw him. The German.
yeah, he would.
The German, the enemy of most of the good Indiana Jones movies.
the only Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mr. Grutz is here.
Indeed.
Indeed.
That's right.
This is a pun, kind of.
Yeah, that was a really bad play on
That was
words
a
there.
stretch, man.
that was a Hobbit
terrible.
joke, is what that was.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Rocking a mic that was so wonderfully borrowed to us by Mr. Dirk Laguna. We came back from Monster Mania missing a mic. So
That's my old practice mic.
Whoa. I gave you back that mic.
No, you gave me back the mic that you borrowed. That's not it. What? No,
You lost a different mic?
during the con. Came back with one less mic, or it's in somebody's bag. So we're trying to figure it out. But in the meantime, Dirk was nice enough to lend us a mic that is Crump's old practice mic, apparently.
So I sound amazing.
You sound you sound velvety as fuck.
Oh,
yeah,
You sound better than you should.
That should really smell like tobacco.
That's
And bourbon.
good.
yeah. Tobacco and bourbon. That's about right.
Yeah.
Next up is the Danwich. Dan the man is here.
What's up, buddy?
We were talking about thematic beers that we'll get into on the half as always, but it was harder than I expected to come up with a thematic beer for Indiana Jones.
It was. I did a little bit of searching on this one. I know I texted Lowdown a few times on it too. One of them that I initially thought of doing, he was like, "What the fuck are you thinking?"
Yeah, dude, we would not like walk out of here.
Well, the idea wasn't to bring in like the whole amount, do
Yeah, they
like
could go
shot
flat.
glasses or something like that.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
bring a flask. Yeah. So
One I was
beer?
thinking of that would be perfect for Indiana Jones, but then we'd have to drink it the whole time is Rolling Rock.
yeah, that would have been good.
Rolling Rock's
But-
not a horrible beer though.
It's not, but it's
But no longer made in the glass-lined tanks. And
correct.
It's not the same.
not the same.
Oh, really?
I was
haven't had
thinking
it in
snake
years.
venom, but I opted not to do it.
Yeah.
It's 67%.
Ugh.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's
Ugh.
higher than liquor. That's higher than the bourbon I'm drinking
Whoa,
currently
there's
in
a
the house.
beer?
Yeah, he's got
Yeah,
it.
I don't have it. No, no. I never picked it up.
Is that
'Cause, like,
proof or percentage?
that's percentage alcohol.
So it's 120-something proof.
Correct.
That ain't right.
Whoa.
No, it's not right. See, here's the interesting thing because like you have to
buy
buy
this?
it around here. You have to buy it in like Asian marketplaces and stuff like we've got around town.
Is there a code word you have to say to get this?
Venom.
You don't have to buy that at the liquor store?
No.
No, you got to do that like in
Nine?
Half Baked, where you got to
Did I
show
say
your ass
nine?
to the tenant in order for
Oh,
to get the snake bite. Yeah.
Or do I say that to the German? Or do I say 9 to the German?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always say 9 to the German.
Let's say 9.
Next one up on the panel is the Velvet Hammer, rejoining after not being on for a few episodes. The sexual chocolate on vocal end. Mr. Crump Crumpler's here.
It is good to be back and not bring any actual content, but it is good to be back here.
I think you will have a couple things to say.
No,
about,
I won't.
About Indiana
No,
Jones.
I'm just going to crack on you the entire time.
I mean, I'm good with that too, but I figured that you might have some feelings about Indiana Jones,
Oh, many feelings, but I don't really express my feelings.
which is great for an audio podcast.
I don't know. You kind of did like a couple weeks ago.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing that happened.
That was more like 5 days ago.
Yeah, like 5 days
Was it
ago.
5?
Yeah.
It feels like it was longer. Okay.
Mr. Curmudgeon, Mr. Velvet Hammer, is now engaged to his vegan reggae listening girlfriend, or now fiance,
This-
I guess.
This, dirt worshiping, pork eating motherfucker.
Yeah, meat, potatoes, cigars, and bourbon meets IPAs, reggae, and veganism in an unholy union that will bring about the apocalypse.
Yeah, I feel like it'll make both sides stronger. Like, it's like, it's like Preacher. They're gonna have this awesome fucking.
But she's hot and more curmudgeonly than me.
She is kind of curmudgeonly.
It's true, but she does it. She's fun when she does it.
That's
Much
true.
like him.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait till y'all leave the house.
That is not my problem. It's on you.
So you're enjoying your avocado salads these days, yeah?
No,
Avocados
I
are
make my own
banging.
food.
It is true. I've been hanging over there many times, and he makes like 8 sausages, and she comes home and makes like a vegan pizza. Yeah, we're just munching on sausage. It's great.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
always munching on sausage.
Yeah, I
yeah.
was waiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You kind of set him up with that one.
I was.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what I was doing.
yeah.
Moil free, baby.
Ooh. Now with 20% less moil. But big congrats to Crump. We went out to Strange Ways and drank a couple beers, and
I drank more than a couple. I got shitstormed.
I believe it. I left before it got too willy nilly over there.
Yeah, I did not maintain.
No.
Why
No.
should you though?
Glad I had the next day off.
I couldn't make that. I had work. I couldn't.
It's okay. I know you don't love me.
Really? That's not true. No, it's not true.
And someone else had to keep working as well. Like your jobs are more important than me.
They
What day
are.
was this, Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got out of work at 3:20 in the morning.
I don't feel your pain.
Jesus Christ.
Holy fuck, dude!
Yeah, I was cooking corned beef and cabbage for hours and hours for the entire restaurant.
Which
thing.
isn't
Yeah.
even really traditional.
Oh,
Truth.
I know
Till
it's not.
Friday.
Well, if St. Patrick's
past
Day isn't
Friday.
traditional. The first St. Patrick's Day was done in New York or Boston or something. It wasn't Ireland.
Yeah.
No, there are more people here in the United States to celebrate it than like
Their
do it.
population.
Exactly.
Yeah, than the
Well,
population of
there are
Ireland.
more Irish Americans than there are actually people in Ireland. So
Yes.
there's that.
And that's just sad. Can we ship them back?
They still don't have enough potatoes, man.
I was gonna say. there's-
Oh.
Well, you'd have to cut me pretty much in half, but
No,
I'm
instead
sure
of-
you guys would be okay with
Like
that.
in the old boats, the old slave ships, instead of like the bricks that they did to like balance it out, we just fill it with potatoes instead and then ship them back and then we're good, right? Is that,
I mean, that makes sense to me.
I mean, that works.
You get salt from the water to work with the potato. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just add that and some butter.
Just throw a bag of potatoes over the side to blanch in salt water and then you can bake them. You're good.
I perceive the Irish much as the townspeople did in Blazing Saddles, and I won't quote the line.
Fair.
That's another episode anyway.
All right, so moving away from his hatefulness, onto our last panelist of the evening. Mr. Hunter is here.
What's
Fuck
up?
you,
What's
Hunter.
up? Fuck you.
Fuck
He
you,
was
Hunter.
nice enough to help procure the microphone this evening, so I do appreciate
Yes.
that.
Yeah, it all kind of worked out.
I do want to point out, that's a twist top, right?
Oh, that was a regular one.
See
So.
the little thing right there?
Oh, wasn't paying attention.
Sorry. I just watched you struggle with that. I just want to call him out on it. That's
I'm
all.
trying to be quiet so I don't nail the fucking table.
But that's a pop off.
There you go.
That's twist top.
I'm used to the other one. Sorry.
I just want to fuck with you. That's all.
Man, asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. Like when you let me believe you never listened to Nirvana's Unplugged the whole ride back from a HorrorCon.
I just want to hear it. So.
I would have gladly played it.
Well, I didn't know if you were getting tired. I want to put something else in. So I was like, wow, I've never heard this album before.
You did that to me. Seriously. It was a
Nice.
thing.
I
No.
mean, sometimes you gotta hear Nirvana.
Yeah, but
and you can
this
trick,
is the same
you have to trick
motherfucker
people.
that decided to lock the goddamn windows.
He did
and
the
then-
same thing
Yep,
to me.
Exactly. So, no, I don't feel that bad.
Was he farting the entire time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
But you wouldn't pay
Did you turn the heat up while doing
No,
that?
because I didn't want to be uncomfortable.
No,
So
he
it
just
doesn't
went
matter. You can make
slightly.
yourself uncomfortable to make other people more uncomfortable.
You
that's
just
fair.
slightly hit the lock button on the windows, and then all of a sudden you just start to feel the car burning with the smell of his fart, and then you go down, roll down the window, and he just starts busting out laughing. Asshole.
Wait, so you activated the child locks, basically?
No, I have a lock for the windows on
Okay.
on my
and if
side.
you're not
That
paying
won't
attention,
allow
he
you
just
to
does
do
it
it.
so slightly, and then
Yeah.
fills the car up.
Such a sweetheart, really.
See, I personally
those
I've
kisses,
got
they're
dual
all
climate
kisses.
control in mine, so I would have totally cranked up the other side too. But that's just me.
I like this man.
Now, before we continue on to Indiana Jones, I got to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Our longest sponsor, amzn.com. If you go to GUIPodcast.com, there's a link right on the main page that says Amazon affiliate. If you go through that link to Amazon.com, anything you purchase through that link, we get a little bit of a cut. Wait for
Clear your cookies.
What's that?
Clear your cookies.
Clear your cookies, then go through the link, and then once you're at the link, you might as well bookmark it so you can just go through that link every single time. Anything you purchase, it costs the same to you, but we get a cut. It's a way to support us without spending any money to support us. You get all the shit that you were going to order anyway, and we get to continue doing this thing. We need to buy a new microphone, so help us out.
Yes.
Check with everybody first, and then buy a new microphone.
We need to buy like 3 new microphones.
Yes, you do.
Yes,
What
yes.
What do you mean clear your cookies?
Your cookies will automatically route to Amazon without giving.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Good to know.
That is.
That's a
I've
little.
spent-
That's a little more you know segment of
I hope
GUI
we
there.
still got the money I spent.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But also, I want to give it up to Loot Crate. A number of us have been buying Loot Crate well before they were sponsors of the podcast, and this is actually the last day for the March crate that you can
9
order.
o'clock tonight.
looking
We're
forward to
recording
it.
this on the 19th, so all of our listeners, it's going into the April crate, which I don't have information yet on what that is, but every month, just about, there's always at least a couple things that I'm, if not the entire crate, that I'm stoked to shit to get. And if you want to go through the link on our sponsors page at GUIPodcast.com, you have to go through the link for us to get credit. But use Save 3 when you sign up for a crate, and you'll save $3 off your first crate. It's another way to support Geeks Under the Influence, and also get a gift to yourself every month. Just a little, there's action figures or books or almost always a T-shirt, all sorts of cool shit. I've always been very happy with my crate from Loot Crate, so check it out through the link at GUIPodcast.com.
This month is Overwatch Predator and X-Men.
Yeah, Primal for March is the one we're looking at.
Pretty
so.
stoked for that.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
I think tomorrow they should start coming out.
It says I'll get mine between 21st and like 25th. Or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So,
usually
I think mine's supposed to be there around the 23rd.
yeah, it's like
something like
20th
that.
to 25th usually.
Mine's already shipped.
So is this Overwatch stuff from the video game? Overwatch?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, since y'all don't play that game, I'll take your toys.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
fair
yeah,
enough.
I have no idea. I've never played the game. I care about
Game
Predator
is
and
addictive
X-Men.
as hell.
That's actually the really nice thing with it too. Is I oftentimes with people coming over for the episode, there's stuff that I don't care about that I got in Loot Crate, and it's just like little gifts to your friends. And I mean, who doesn't love doing that shit too? So, or you save it until you know your friend's having a birthday, and then you give it to them then, and then you saved yourself a few bucks on a birthday present.
You
so,
cheap bastard.
Yep.
Whatever, they're still gonna fucking like it. All right.
Yep. Absolutely.
God damn it.
So on to the episode. We're talking Indiana fucking Jones.
Fuck yes.
And I can't think of a better way to start than to start with Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was not Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost
Nope, it
Ark.
was Raiders.
Just Raiders.
Just Raiders.
Because it wasn't initially considered to be a series. It was just a one-off kind of love letter that George Lucas put together for his love of old, like, 30s and 40s pulp, like, action movies or adventure movies from the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, and even getting into that, I still scratch my head and kind of wonder how things would be different, because I don't even know if they would have gone past the first movie if Tom Selleck actually would have been cast.
Just about to bring that up.
All right, because I like him as an actor. He's a solid actor and everything, but as Indiana Jones, I can't see it.
No.
I cannot see it.
Harrison Ford's run in the early 80s is goddamn amazing.
Oh, phenomenal.
Blade Runner, that, like, he picked the right fucking movies. Like,
Indiana P.I. Indiana Jones in a Hawaiian shirt. He's like punching Nazis.
It's
And
interesting.
that's why he turned it down, because he
because
was
of the
too
show.
busy
Yeah.
recording the show. So it's just like I can't. Indiana Jones with a mustache just seems so wrong.
He would have had to shave that shit.
Oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
and have you seen him clean shaven? He looks like
Odd.
worse than I do clean shaven. So
Does he look worse than Sam Elliott without a mustache?
No,
That's
it
pretty
doesn't.
horrible. That's fucking horrible.
it's 50-50.
Lucas didn't want to get him because that would have been the third thing in a row with Lucas and Ford.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well,
From American Graffiti to Star Wars, then to he didn't
Yep.
want to do it again.
Yeah, but he had a very small role in American Graffiti. It
Right.
doesn't even really count. It was
But
like a street race.
He didn't want to seem tied in together with him.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Really? The fuck? There's cameras right here, dude.
I still got to take pictures and shit. Social media.
You can take a screenshot of that, can't you?
I mean, eventually.
God.
I like how everything's bothering you. You're like, motherfucker.
I'm just so mad at the world, and like more so than usual.
Always.
And
Yeah.
you call me the
Always.
curmudgeon.
Yeah, right. Well, you haven't been here very often, so he's got to take
That is true.
the curmudgeon banner.
That's what it is. The weight of that has just been on my shoulders for too long.
But with a did you have a-
Just briefly speaking on Tom Selleck, he did actually get into a little bit of adventure roles with the Lassiter and High Road to China, but
don't forget Quickly Down Under.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I was waiting for that
they
one.
do
And Mr.
pale.
Baseball.
They pale in comparison to Indiana Jones.
Well,
Obviously.
and one thing we'll talk about a little bit later is some of the knockoff adventure movies, that, which I know Anthony's super
Romancing the
excited
Stone.
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just real quick while we're still talking about Tom Selleck, has anybody seen Runaway? With
Oh, yeah.
Gene Simmons as the bad guy?
Yes.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, the freaking sci-fi.
I haven't.
thing,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one
little,
yet.
like,
If you
missile
get a
shooting
chance,
out of
check
a
it out.
gun.
It's awesomely awful, but yeah. Gene Simmons, bad guy, killer robots.
Dude.
Oh, I'm in. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But with Indiana Jones, that was the first movie that I saw of the Indiana Jones movies was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
And I had not seen anything like it before. Now, I had, as a child, had never seen some of the like 30s and 40s adventure movies that a lot of this comes from, where there's quicksand and swinging on vines and like not less fighting Nazis in
Right.
the in the 30s, I think. But it had this kind of campy pulp comic booky kind of feel to it that I had not seen in anything.
Right.
And that's really what connected me. Was Raiders really the first one for you guys, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was definitely the first one for me, but it also shows that Lucas is obsessed with a couple of things. He's obsessed kind of with the occult when it comes to these movies in specific, and then also connecting the Nazis to movies. It seems to really be kind of a theme for him too. Could be the fact that he was raised Jewish. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
No,
there's a
man,
no,
no.
but yeah, totally right.
The German
No,
has something
but
to say
there's-
about this.
Yeah, but there's a lot of overtone like that through the first couple of Star Wars movies, even before Indiana Jones came out, and then seeing them kind of roll that into a whole other franchise was just kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I didn't
Well,
think
he
about
did make the
comparison.
Empire look awesome and amazing, and they were always the ones I was rooting for. So,
Yeah.
come on.
Fucking Germans, Jesus Christ.
No, Raiders was the first one for me. At a young age, there was a lot. All the adventure scenes I really loved, but when I got older, I came to appreciate the movie as a whole versus not getting bored with the filler that's in there for the
Sure.
story. You know what I mean?
I know this is going to be surprising y'all, but I actually didn't see Raiders in the theater. I know y'all always pick on me for being an old motherfucker.
Because you are an old motherfucker.
But my dad had one of the early Laserdisc players and a projection screen, so I didn't see it in the theater.
And he
but
gave you a map, and then he hid the laser disc somewhere in the house. And
exactly.
you had to,
But that's how I fell in love with that movie. Was just watching it there. He had his own kind of theater room, and I watched that movie at least 5 times a year. The first time I watched it, it was just addictive.
I mean, I remember going to see it at the drive-in. To be honest with you, that was something that my parents actually they got all of us in the back of the station wagon when I lived up in Jersey and took us over to see that. And I had never seen anything like it. They thought I was going to freak out because I was 4, and I sat there and just was cheering, you know.
the Indiana Jones movies, Star Wars, and Conan was on a constant rotation at my house when I was a kid. That was just
That's
crush
just
your
good
enemies
That's just good parenting.
and hear the lamentation of their women, and then no ticket, and then the Force will be with you always. It was just this trifecta of adventure movies for kids, and I couldn't have asked for a better series of movies to grow up watching. I mean, especially what I loved with Last Crusade is when it showed young Indiana Jones, and around the time that came out I wasn't too far off from the young Indiana Jones age, and it was this feeling of okay, so he was just a badass from fucking childhood apparently.
And this is the Lucas before he decided things had to be kid friendly, so he just made good movies. He didn't have to add a Jar Jar or the shit we'll talk about with Crystal Skull, shit like that. There was no holds bar. He just pretty much did what he wanted, and we fell in love with these movies, which makes it even more confusing with the prequels and with Crystal Skull, why he had to change and make things safe for kids. So
Yeah.
True.
Now, Raiders of the Lost Ark, we'll get into some of the deep cut aspects of that once we kind of cover the first 3 movies, but
The only 3 movies.
the only 3 movies.
Yeah,
He's not getting that. I don't think.
The second movie was definitely a hard right turn from Raiders of the Lost Ark as far as tone. Temple of Doom was a lot campier, like a lot.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of good things about that one though too. Number one, obviously, it predates actually Raiders of the Lost Ark from a general chronology standpoint. It takes place roughly about a year before the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark does.
Yeah, it's prequel.
Yeah, so
I mean, duh. Yeah. It's
no, he's right. It's totally a prequel, so it's in line with that whole Lucas doing the movies out of order a little bit. But I love it kind of on its own merits. It's a complete departure from what we've seen in other ones.
I have a love affair with that movie. It's not my favorite of the trilogy.
Yeah, but you're
However-
also deep in love with Dick Tracy too. So
Hey, that movie's great.
really,
The thing about
Only because of Pacino.
Funny.
Temple of Doom was the pulpiest of the 3. Okay, it was the cheesiest of the 3, and it was the most outrageous. But it was fucking enjoyable through and through. Even they went more extreme. Like Raiders was, as sort of serialized a story as it was with the action and everything. It still was relatively believable in the sense that he could survive this action and this thing can be done. Maybe not like the whole Ark of the Covenant magic shit, but
if you close your eyes, then you won't be sucked into the death box.
Right.
That's the what I learned from Raiders.
But,
That was the moral of the story at the end.
But he's punching people and he's riding around chasing the truck and he goes under the truck. But you know what? All these things are plausible somewhere in the realm of reality. Now, Temple of Doom and later on Crystal Skull go way out.
Yeah, a little
but
bit.
they're still fucking fun. So
The thing that Temple of Doom did for me is make me appreciate Karen Allen in number 1 that much more.
Yes.
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 Fuck
No shit,
yeah.
because that
Really?
woman
She wasn't annoying.
Lady only here because she humping director.
didn't that end up becoming George Lucas's wife after that?
Spielberg.
Spielberg's wife. Sorry,
I like how we all know that.
She
I
was
think
fucking
they're still married.
Probably.
I think so.
she was
Why
horrifying.
would she leave?
She was such a terrible choice as a character. Like, and nothing against the actress.
And bad.
No,
Just badly
everything.
written.
No, everything against.
Yeah,
the
like
actress.
every. No, well, I kind of hate the actress for the character that she portrayed.
Yes.
But that was all shit that was written down and she was told to say. Like she was supposed to be a whiny little like princess the entire time.
But in the first one, you have the same thing, and it's just not as fucking annoying as in Temple of Doom.
No,
like-
she wasn't a princess. She
No,
was.
she was a drunken
Marion-
badass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But she
hard
still is
drinking, hard like she was a strong woman character.
yeah, she was a
Yes.
super.
But she
strong
still
badass.
was crying out for Indy to help her, and it just didn't seem as.
Yeah, when
He was
she-
crying
No,
at the
no, no,
snakes.
no.
That's
That
what
was more.
happens.
That was more of a. I'm the only person that can help you, motherfucker.
Yeah, and the only time that she cried for him to help her is when like he was the only one that could help her, and then he was like, "No, fuck you. They'll know I'm here if I save you." And she was like, "You're a dickbag. I fucking hate you." Whereas Blondie McGee in Temple of Doom was just like, "There's bugs in my nails and like the whole time.
Speaking of bugs, that's the only thing that fucked with me on Temple of Doom was that whole dinner scene.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Oh, that
come
was
on,
my
man.
favorite.
Oh, that
man,
was
as a
so
kid.
great. That was a great scene.
No, 'cause
Killed
giant
monkey
spider.
brains.
Mike's
Come
like,
on.
"Hey, he's eating a spider."
It's like, what? You're not hungry?
Like, no, I'm not hungry. It
what was really
ugh.
great actually was seeing the difference between what was being eaten at the one end of the table versus what they were eating on the other end of the table.
Truth.
It's like aside from the chilled monkey brains that they had for dessert, like Indy wasn't eating any of the crap that they were having. He didn't have the bugs for like appetizers. He didn't have snake surprise. You know, that wasn't anywhere on his plate.
The snake surprise is what fucks me up. It's like I don't have to I don't want to like chase my food under the table to get it. Like the snakes were alive. They were like escaping.
They weren't even snakes. They were eels.
Like,
That's the interesting
I've never
thing.
gone to brunch and had to like chase after my Bloody Mary. Like it's just,
no shit.
like it's usually where I put it and then it's fine.
Stays there.
But
Yeah.
it's really great because it actually speaks to the research they did for what what people actually eat in other cultures of the world. I love that about that scene.
That was definitely exaggerated as fuck, though.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna
that
say.
scene.
Have you
Yeah.
ever seen like some of the stuff that's on like the Travel Channel or whatever when they have like
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah.
are eating bugs in like the streets of like
No, but
China
they probably looked at
and
like
India and stuff.
the history of India, and they looked at the worst food they've ever eaten. They were like, "We'll just put that all on one table at the same time."
Yeah.
apparently, there's like a beetle that if you pull the butt end of it, there's peanut butter, and then you can like slurp that off.
You know you like beetle butt.
Beetle butt peanut butter is my favorite brand. Beats Peter Pan's pants off every time.
He has
So
that at
gross.
second breakfast.
Yes, that's my 11sies.
Now we brought it up a little bit in the '80s episode, but yeah, Temple of Doom was definitely a lot more hardcore than I guess parents were expecting going into it. So
Well, and that's one thing I wanted to touch on.
Helped
It
develop
it
PG-13.
developed
Yeah.
PG-13. It was not the first PG-13. That was
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
Yeah.
But it was one of the major like
factors
Factors
in creating
in
that
creating it.
rating.
yeah, because a lot of
yeah.
kids came out fucked up after seeing that movie.
we'll call him all. Where the rips the dude hearts out.
Yeah, and it's still beating. It's
Yeah.
so glorious. But then also the scene like in the actual goodness, what I'm thinking about the part where they have the kids enslaved and everything.
In the like Kali temple.
Yeah, in the temple.
Hey, at least they were
he
working.
actually he has the fight with like the big like chief person and who actually gets like
The end
sucked
boss.
in. Yeah. Who ironically the guy who played that character, he's other than Harrison Ford, is the only person to be in all 3 Indiana Jones movies. Other than Harrison Ford.
Was he the scimitar dude also, or like in the
All right,
first one?
so
or-
in the first one, he was the guy that got chopped up by the propeller. Mm-hmm. In that
That
fight
was the
scene.
same guy.
Same guy.
Big English wrestler?
Shit.
Yeah, the big like English wrestler, and then he plays a
they,
very small
they gave
part.
him bronze tan and,
Yeah.
and put him in
And
temple.
then he plays a very small part in The Last Crusade. There's actually the scene where they're getting on the Zeppelin and the Gestapo comes.
Was he the guy with no ticket?
No, he was not the guy with no ticket. He was the guy that was with the guy with no ticket when they're walking up to, because he's like a foot taller than the other guy.
Not that I need an excuse to rewatch it, but I'm definitely gonna have to fucking check that shit
Yeah,
out
no
now.
shit. Yeah. That is cool. That's a nice little GY fact.
And I
GY
like that you
fact.
phrased it in all three Indiana
three.
Jones movies.
Yes.
All three.
Because that's all that were made,
That
apparently.
is correct.
Correct.
And he's one of the aliens in. No.
Oh, God, no.
Now, there is the third movie, which the older I get and the more I watch this trilogy, the more that is starting to slowly kind of overtake some of the other movies. Like
3 is my favorite.
Three
I
is
wouldn't say
great.
Raiders is still my favorite, but it's overtaken Temple.
It goes back and
Yeah,
forth.
The Last Crusade is just so goddamn good.
It's
And
perfect.
It is. And
Well,
you had Sean Connery. Come on, man.
Well, and I was looking at dialogue for Making a Drunken Scene that we're going to do later, and I think we're just going to do one-liners for that, and it would be a lot easier that way. But it's a lot more dialogue-driven than either of the previous two.
Correct.
Because you have the dynamic between the father and the son, and like the son not really feeling like he's living up to his father's legacy and all that shit, which a lot of us have some sort of like understanding of, or at least recognize it enough to get a good feel on it.
Can I just say, perfect fucking casting, River Phoenix as young Indy.
Oh,
Yeah.
That,
great.
like, seriously, like, he somehow was like, how do you do a young Indy? And he had it fucking down pat.
And it's so great. Like we talked earlier a little bit about his whole thing with snakes. You know, for him to bring in and be like, when he's first introduced, and he's like, it's only a snake. And then you actually get to see why he ultimately becomes so petrified of him.
No, but here's the thing, though. Like, no, I love that whole sequence. I loved what they did, but I have never had one day when I was a kid that created the rest of my life and what I stood for. Like,
That's why you're not Indiana Jones.
First off, it's like it's the first time it's like it belongs in a museum. I gotta save things to put in a museum. He gets the hat, he gets the whip, he gets the cut on his face, he gets scared of snakes. All of that happens in a matter of like 22 minutes. That all that shit happens.
When he's part of the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Which is just...
I feel that your clown story at the circus envelops your entire life after
That
that.
didn't. Oh,
Busted!
that didn't turn me short. That didn't make me mansplain to everyone, not just women, like men, women, everyone that I know mansplain everything. Like, it's not because of clowns. That is one major aspect of my life.
I think it's the everything boils down to that one
No,
point.
Well,
no.
it's that, and also a spider crawling in your mouth.
Yes, that-
as you were young, and now you don't like.
That's my
spiders.
snakes is
Yeah,
is
exactly.
spiders. Yeah. So I didn't fall into a snake.
Well, you got spiders and clowns, so it's
Yeah.
It's too
I don't know, man. I had a bad spider experience. It didn't make me any more afraid of them.
That's because
Did you
you're
just
a
call
real
him a
man.
pussy?
That's because you're a real man.
Yeah, I think you did just call him a pussy. That's cool.
Dan
I
does
said
another
was,
story.
actually.
When I was a kid, I was trying to rescue an ancient artifact from some grave robbers, and I fell into a train car full of spiders, and it just fucked me up ever since.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up with one on my face, so you have no excuse.
No, wait. He had one in his
Crawled in my mouth.
Yeah.
His mouth.
No, mine was literally about right here.
No,
so it was
in
not that
in
far.
mouth beats on face. Shut up.
A fucking wolf spider.
No, I
crawled into my
know
mouth.
it's a wolf spider too.
Okay, in mouth beats on face. What are we not understanding here?
All I did
By the
was
way, that's the name of the episode. Is in mouth beats on face.
There we go.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It always writes itself.
There it is. Yeah.
We lost our female listenership
Yeah.
again.
No, they stopped listening many episodes
they
ago.
don't care.
But I think Last Crusade, Sean Connery was absolutely fucking brilliant as Senior.
Oh, it's perfect.
He was
great.
great because you saw some of the ingenuity that you got with Indiana Jones, but it was in this much more relaxed kind of like educated way where he wasn't as Indiana Jones was always that like accidentally doing it right. You know? Whereas Sean Connery was always intentional with like the umbrella with the birds to like fuck up the plane and shit. Like, and he was just so casual about it. Like, yep, just killed a fucking Nazi pilot. Fuck it, you know, just like not giving a shit.
Yeah, but you also see where like Indiana Jones's, I guess, respect really for other people kind of comes from too. You know,
Yeah.
because like his father, number one, I mean, tried to teach him independence apparently, but like Indiana was more of like you see his abandonment issues.
Sure,
You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know, and you also see that like when he breaks the vase over his head, you're like, oh yeah, it's like I'm okay. It's like, oh thank God, it's a fake. He's
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
the vase the entire time.
It's also, I think, it's Sean Connery's best role Like, as much as I love him, I loved him as Bond. I really loved him as Bond.
I thought he was great in that thief movie with what's her fuck.
Shut the fuck up, Oliver.
Fucking kill
That's
yourself.
called entrapment.
In the Name of the Rose,
Entrapment, yeah.
he had some good roles, but as Dr. Jones, as Jones Sr., he was perfect.
I don't know. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was a fantastic film.
You just want to die today, don't you?
Well, he retired because of that.
Yeah, I know.
That's right.
Because it was horrible.
I was gonna say I agree with Grutz. I think the back to back, because right before that is Untouchables, and he's fucking badass
yeah.
Untouchables.
Awesome,
And there's such different characters from Untouchables to playing Indy's dad. And fucking, he knocked both those roles out.
And
of
then
the
right
park.
after that, wasn't it Hunt for Red October?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn,
So,
that's
yeah,
true.
I love all these
Three.
movies.
That was the zone.
All three of those movies are fantastic, but I think his portrayal in Crusade is my favorite role that he's done.
I will say, personal favorite role, yes, but best role ever done. That's questionable.
I don't know. Untouchables is pretty goddamn.
Yeah, I was going to say he won an
man.
Academy Award for
Just
what he
like
did.
a wop.
Bring a knife to a gunfight.
Get out of here, you dirty dago bastard!
They put one of
See,
you
it's
on.
writing like that just makes my heart swell.
Before we go to break, we talked a little bit briefly about the woman in Temple of Doom, his love interest. But there were three distinctly different love interests in the three Indiana Jones movies. And
Good boy.
I want to talk about, like, Marion Ravenwood is the first one, and she, as we talked about, is a badass, drinks dudes under the table, can throw a punch, can mostly handle it herself, but isn't afraid to ask for help when necessary, which is a cool fucking, like, protagonist female character. And then there's the rest.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this about Willie: one of the coolest scenes in the movie is the opening sequence, where
That was
and
fun.
and I know Spielberg was trying to do like a musical number as like an homage to like old cinema, but that was a great scene, and that whole opening sequence with Lao She and in that restaurant and getting out, like, I fucking love that part of the movie so hard.
The opening scene in Temple is pretty good.
Yeah,
I
it's-
like
Yeah,
it.
it's a
phenomenal.
great opening to a movie.
But there's an easy split point where you could have, like, ditched the chick, and then it was just like a buddy cop thing with Short Round, for the rest of the movie, and it would have been great.
and they could have
Like, she didn't do anything important except, like, we are going to die, and she's like, I have to touch bugs to save you,
Yeah,
and then, like, that's it. That's
he
her
could have
whole-
romanced like an Indian princess. That would have been hot as fuck.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely.
Been so much better.
Yeah, Willie was fucking terrible, and almost ruined that movie for me. Luckily, they ripped a heart out of a chest and it caught on fire, and I was like, okay, I'm back in.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
almost put her
I-
into the lava.
I'd say that, she kind of ruined the movie, but for me, it was like almost like Short Round kept me kind of intact because he was just fucking hilarious.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
We already did that joke earlier.
Yeah,
You're
no, it's
late.
great. I love it. I
But
love
no,
it.
like throughout the whole movie, he's just constantly like just making these jokes that keep me.
Well, see, and he was in great movies back to back too.
Well,
so he did that, and then he did Goonies.
But
Yeah,
he played the
true.
same fucking character in my headcanon. It's the same kid.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the-
just he had
it's across
gadgets.
this-
He just had
across the
gadgets in the
universe.
second
Or
one
like-
instead of like blocks for his feet to drive.
Or
a
do
car.
like that was his dad, and then his dad moves to Astoria and like raises a family, and then like his son like ends up being a Goonie.
Has anybody here seen the? It was very short lived, but the Clerks animated series.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a Randall. There's a shout out to Temple of Doom where Randall plays this game, and they bring him in, and pretty much it's all the kids from fucking Temple of Doom building shit. Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome.
Nice. I
Let's
don't remember that episode. The anime.
I think it's like episode 3 or 4,
Really?
but yeah, it's where Randall, all his ex girlfriends become lesbians. Because
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. I remember that
on
episode.
that kids cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course we have the third,
The third,
Elsa.
the
Elsa.
Nazi.
Oh,
the-
but she was the hottest.
the Austrian
Truth.
Well,
the
no,
Austrian Nazi, by the way.
I gotta say Marion for me.
You thought she was hot in the movie that doesn't exist, though. That's where you thought she was hot in.
No, she looked like a
She was
fucking
wearing she
history
was wearing
teacher.
mom pants in that one.
Yeah, she
I mean,
she looked like she's like, I have some coupons for that. That's kind of. But no, like in the first one, yeah, she beats out Elsa for me.
nah, I go with Elsa.
I do.
Her
I do love
personality.
darker haired women, but I got to go with
Her
her.
personality and attitude are cooler than Elsa. But if you're just looking at a snapshot, Elsa.
Yeah, so big surprise. The fucking German likes the
No.
Nazi
Don't get me wrong. I have been ruined for blondes, by my past. How I usually
Wait,
go.
did you date a woman that turned out to only be dating you so she could get a book to get like an artifact to Hitler?
No,
Is
she
that-
fucking divorced me. So fuck that bitch.
All right.
But I do prefer brunettes. However, Elsa still.
But here's the thing about Elsa. Elsa slept with his dad as well. All right.
Yeah.
If that doesn't like screw things up at all,
Like I said,
come on.
I'm looking at a snapshot. 1, 2, 3.
If you're just looking at so you just read Playboy for the articles. Okay.
Well, I'm going to say is that I'm not indie, so I don't give a
that's all
fuck
they
who she
have
fucked. That's not related to me. I don't care.
It is a little weird to be sloppy seconds with your dad, though.
It is
But we're
very
not
weird.
indie. It doesn't matter.
Marion also had Bill Murray chasing after her.
I was going to bring up Scrooge, but good job.
So, yeah, Bill Murray, always go with Bill Murray.
And did
Like
she
if you're
sleep
gonna
with...
if you're gonna sloppy seconds or pre sloppy seconds, like be the first of the second, then I mean Bill Murray adjacent is. I'm fine with that. That's
Bill Murray
cool.
and Indy. I mean, it's.
Hold on.
I'll take those Eskimo brothers all day.
Her vagina has some prestige, is what
Yes.
you're saying.
Are we forgetting about Donald Sutherland and Animal House?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He
Yeah,
did beat that ass,
that's
didn't
not
he?
taken away from the prestige. Her vagina has seen things, and like I would
Great
sit-
acting credits have been in her.
I would sit down like story time at the library, like, "Hey, Marion Ravenwood's vagina, tell me a story," and just like,
Just go,
It's a huge IMDb list that have been in her vagina.
No, but I think Hobbit's got a point though. I think if you have to pick any of the three, it's got to be Marion.
it's
Because
a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer for me too. Because number one, yeah, she's got the smarts. I'm not even convinced really that Elsa has the smarts in the third one because even though she claims to be a doctor, she's kind of an idiot.
yeah, she wasn't a doctor.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way in hell.
No.
Well, there's that like she's leading Indy to kind of make the decisions because he's the one that's going to lead them to the Grail. So like I kind of see her kind of taking a back roll a little bit to let him kind of figure the shit out, and also protecting her cover at the same time. That being said, still not as smart as Marion Ravenwood.
No.
Marion Ravenwood is the coolest, hands down.
And also,
But the question was, or my statement was, who is just the hottest by virtue of
Best in bed
appearance?
I'd go by, and that would still be Marion.
yeah, Marion
No,
would
no.
definitely be best.
I would probably
in bed.
agree with you because she's a fighter.
And a drunk.
and she's got she's got something going on actually in the noggin too.
That's true.
So
More creative.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So Marion is definitely the one to go to, but we're not kicking Elsa out of bed. Nobody wants to take Willie home.
Not only she's got a ball gag.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
No
no.
ball gag. Then
No,
it's
she's
totally
still got
fine.
that nasty '80s hair.
You can take care of that.
With like a straight iron.
Yeah,
Just
just,
like,
nah, bitch. Be still.
Oh baby. No, let's totally go to bed. But in just a sec, hold on. Just like straight ironing the shit. Yeah.
Fucking 80s hair. Ugh.
That's called like 1990 foreplay, where you just like clean out all the fucking waves from the 80s. So those are the ladies of Indiana Jones, and I think that's a good way to lead off onto our break. We're going to take a short break, talk about some of our friends of the show. When we come back, we're going to talk about what we're drinking, do a little drunken scene action, and get into the real meat of Indiana Jones. So stick around. We will be right back.
Hey guys, thank you for watching the GUI podcast. This is Nick from Instant Replay Live. I get plugged here a lot, and I'm being allowed to do it myself this time. I'm going to plug myself as much as I can. You can check out our Twitter at INST Replay Live. I'm going to plug myself again. I'm plugging myself in front of all these guys right here. You can find us on YouTube if you search for Instant Replay Live, or youtube.com/c/Instant Replay Live, or at instantReplayLive.com. We do video games, we do tabletop role-playing games, and we do reviews and all kinds of other stuff. So check us out.
Todsky from the YMN podcast. Big fans of Geeks Under the Influence. Talk about all the same shit, so definitely check us out, ymnpodcast.com.
This is Mike the Hobbit, direct from Fallout on a trivia night, telling you to come here every first and third Monday for trivia between 8 and 10, 25-cent wings, drink specials, prizes, and tons of really inappropriate trivia. It's a lot of fun. Do you guys agree? Definitely come out and enjoy trivia every first and third Monday at Fallout. In addition to Fallout, Geeks Under the Influence takes over Wonderland on the corner of 18th and Main Street for Geeks Under the Influence trivia, ridiculous trivia, goofy music, great food, cheap drinks. 1727 East Main. Come and check us out 8 to 10 every second and fourth Tuesday.
Tenebrous?
Yes.
Is the S silent? Is it Tenebrae?
I said tenebrous,
Okay.
but I could be wrong.
You could be.
We are
But I
definitely going to be
sound great.
fucked for the second half of this episode of Geeks Under the Influence.
This
Thank
is
you
like
guys
13, 12.
Making
Guess that might be calling it
for
Uber.
11.5.
for joining us for the second half here. We
Holy
are
shit, this smells amazing.
before
That's
we get
fantastic.
back into Indiana Jones, we're going to do what we always do on the second half, which is what we are drinking, and we've got plenty.
Oh my god.
Plenty to drink on the second half here.
Yeah, Hobbit and I stopped at this brewery when we did our
Oh
road
my
trip after
god,
my
this
birthday.
is good.
Yeah, Adroit Theory, which, by the way, like
Stop,
I
man.
sung its
Yeah,
praises after we
that's
went.
good.
That is
This is
wow.
fucking good.
Now, Lowdown, what did you bring from Adroit?
I brought their barley wine. It's called Tenebrous.
This is wow.
Again, East Coast local bitches, and that's a 10%, and there's no 10%.
It doesn't taste like a 10% at all.
It's 10%.
It is one of the most drinkable barley wines that I've ever had in my life.
I'm sorry, Hardywood. Adroit's got your number on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
When we stopped there,
Love you,
it was-
Hardywood, but wow.
Adroit's got the
For the day after my birthday, I had that Saturday off, and I was like, Hobbit, let's go to a distillery. So we went up to Catoctin Creek. And while we were up there, we were posting about it, and a friend of ours sent, well, while you're up there, go to Adroit Theory's brewery. You won't regret it. And dear God, it was fucking amazing.
Everything we tried. Every single thing we tried.
I- beer was good?
I did a flight of amazing, and then continued after the flight going, well, there's other things to try. And it was just all the stout, porter, everything heaven.
And it's so wonderful to find
And they
a
were playing
brewery-
metal.
Yeah, they're playing metal. Well, and some really unfortunate metal also. But you
like
know,
what?
That is
there was some like Disturbed and stuff playing.
That's not metal.
Yeah, well,
No.
It's
But
not
they
new
had
metal.
Slayer
they did
Yes,
play Slayer
because they just had the radio going, the internet radio playing the metal station.
See, Disturb is not metal.
No.
That's what I'm getting at.
Because they make monkey noises.
You're not down with the sickness? Oh, wait, that's...
No, that's yeah.
That's Disturbed, I think. isn't it?
sharp
It is,
I don't know.
it is
I don't know.
disturbed, but I still think it's
It was
monkey
a
noise.
disturbing song.
Anyway, Disturb is not metal, people.
Yeah, this is a barley wine which pops up at what's the percent?
10%.
10
10%.
fucking percent.
It doesn't taste like it at all. It's fucking delicious.
It's amazing.
Oh, that is a tasty beverage.
It almost tastes sessionable, Jody.
This is very sessionable.
I don't know about that.
For me, that's sessionable.
You're also
I think
weird.
I totally think that. I've got to agree. This is totally.
Oh God, and
Grutz is bringing us shots.
Grutz has like a shaker and everything.
Shots,
It's like-
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh dear God. All right.
Brought his A game.
He did, dude. Like, this is... Yeah, the German
Well, to
brings
be
his A
fair-
game to the...
Yeah.
In the entire time that I've known Grutz, Indiana Jones is right up there with Star Wars for him as far as his love of stuff. So like, I understand fully like bringing A game to this shit. Grutz, what are you bringing to the table this evening? What are we sipping on?
This is a cocktail I created for this podcast.
What?
God.
What's it called?
Okay.
This is called the Blood of Kali.
Kalima.
Fair enough.
Kalima Shakti Day.
There's some,
Yes,
Oh.
there's blood in here.
no,
Wait,
Absinthe.
real blood?
Absinthe is in
No,
this.
there's no absinthe.
it's,
What's that smell then?
Oh wait, no, that's
This is the only time
Jägermeister.
you will
Jaeger.
ever
Oh,
have
it's
me
Jaeger.
drink Jägermeister.
that's
Yeah.
it. That's,
Yeah,
it's
there's
that
fucking
smell
Jaeger
of
in
forget.
here.
Of
You're
course,
a
you've got to
fucking
bring a freaking German.
This is Jägermeister and a port called War's Warrior.
Wait, it's wine and Jägermeister.
It's port, which is fortified wine.
Wine and Jägermeister.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Shall we drink to Chuck Berry?
Chuck Berry.
Berry.
Chuck Berry.
Kalima Shakti Day.
Air Clinky.
Chuck Berry, man. Chuck Berry. Fucking A. All right, it
Actually, that wasn't bad at
That's
all.
a very good mix there, Grutzy.
Good job, sir.
All right, I will put the mixer on the show notes for this episode. So if anybody wants to drink along while listening and do the Blood of Kali, then
He doesn't like wine, so he hates it.
We're gonna start seeing things soon.
yeah.
It's port and Jägermeister. We're not gonna see
That's
shit.
the first mixer shot that we've had on an episode of Geeks Under the
Port
Influence.
and Jägermeister.
That tastes like regret.
Yeah, because there's Jaeger in it.
That is the blood of Kali.
It tastes like douchebag.
Yes.
I feel like punching Short Round right now.
Actually,
Or
this tastes,
slapping him across
this
the face.
tastes
No, to
like
be fair-
regret only because I haven't had it before.
With Jaeger in it, you feel like punching any minority that's around, probably.
Including hobbits.
It's enjoyed by Germans and frat boys. So yeah, like that's about perfect.
Sounds like David Hasselhoff.
Oh.
All right, we got some other shares here too.
Yeah,
Dan, you brought
Yeah,
something.
I need empty cups here.
Yeah,
So,
but as you're getting cups, what did you bring to the table this evening?
well, I have two things. So what I am pouring right now is it's by Devil's Backbone. So support your local. It's their Berliner Weiss.
Oh, that's a good
And
one.
Yes, it's very delicious.
East Coast local is what I meant to say, people.
Yeah,
East Coast local.
regionally local, as I like to
Regionally
say.
local.
Fuck.
No, is
No.
that not?
It's
not-
region.
not-
It
is
is
that
region.
another thing?
That's region. We never did regionally local. That wasn't a thing.
Put some bass back in your voice, Hobbit.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
The little bit there is needs to go back there.
have no idea what's going on.
Just hold on to the little bit. I can-
All right, so who Grutz, where's your glass?
He doesn't drink beer.
He doesn't. I know, but
He's a
I'm
German
gonna
who doesn't
drink
drink beer,
Pilsner.
guys.
Yeah, I know.
Again, a German who
But I have
doesn't
had
drink
that, and I
beer.
appreciate it.
really bizarre.
But I'm
right?
digging on the blood of Kali, so
All right,
it's all
so-
good.
By the way, I just want to give a disclaimer to anybody listening to the second half of the episode. We've got so much booze to go through on the second half that I apologize for anything that's just about to happen.
Yes.
It's going to get really nuts.
Oh, this is going to be crazy.
Now the Berliner actually has a very low IBU. It's only an 8. So
Jesus.
yeah.
They're like one hop.
Pretty much, which
But
makes
then-
it delicious.
Smells really
Correct.
good, though.
But then on top
It
of
is.
that, it's technically considered a sour, so you're going to get a lot of sweet
Oh,
up
wow.
front. Correct. Like Hobbit is experiencing right now, you're going to get sweet up front, but then you're going to get a nice kind of barley finish to it. So
That's a tang at the back end of that.
Yeah, there's a hard tang.
Oh yeah,
and
there is.
there's a nice dry finish to it, which is good.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Something
It's
you
not
can't
bad.
say about me when I'm done with you.
There's a hard tang.
No,
Correct.
dry finish.
Oh, dry finish.
So in addition to what I've passed out, I'm also personally drinking Bell's Two-Hearted Ale. So kind of an homage to Kalima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that scene alone in Temple of Doom is what made that movie for me. When he rips the dude's heart out, and then the dude goes into the pit, and as he hits the lava, the heart catches on fire, and there's a dude wearing fucking horns. Even as a child, I'm like, that's the most metal thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
That is iconic.
But even as a child, I was like, wait a minute, how is his heart still beating if it's not in his chest?
That's what you're dissecting from
Right.
it?
Yeah, no, seriously.
You're just like, I buy all this other shit, but scientifically,
Excuse me, sir. That wouldn't happen that way. Like,
Yes, in your prototypical white voice, absolutely.
Why would one face shrunk, one face melted, and the other one blew up? It doesn't make sense.
I'm
Two
just,
faces melted, actually.
I'm just
so.
not buying it.
Yeah. Went in concave. Like, it's crazy.
I'm gonna get Katie to dress up in the horn thing.
Don't
And
need to know about your fantasy.
Kalima.
This is like Halima. and instead of my heart, she'll just pull out my soul.
Cholesterol.
Oh my! I'm in my 30s. If she could pull out my cholesterol, I'd be so happy. Like that'd be great.
Clean up your liver.
I had a wellness check. My cholesterol's slightly high, and I need to keep a track.
Really?
Of it. So,
Avocados, bitches.
Yeah.
I'm on
Avocados.
medication for that still. It sucks.
Healthy fats. Eat healthy fats. It kills
All right. So
bad cholesterol.
what do we feel on
Avocados
this?
great.
It's definitely on the sour note.
But it's good.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
It's good.
I love
it's
it.
a great beer.
I don't know how much I could take of this at a time, though. That's
I've
what
never
she
heard
said.
that before from you, really.
Yeah. This is definitely a sipper. Enjoy a little bit of it, and then pass.
Depending
on
on
to
your palate,
sour.
because if
Yeah.
it depends on how much you enjoy the sour.
Sure.
So,
As personally as somebody who loves sours, I
Yeah.
think it's a great.
not overly sours. Like this
No.
is a good sessionable sour. It is.
I would agree.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
It's not.
no,
It's
definitely.
it's not one of those ones where you get like overly sour and then overly sweet, and then you feel like you got like type 2 diabetes just from drinking like
It's like
one
you got
beer.
tongue fucked from one beer. Seriously.
Yeah. You know, and then you got like the Wilford Brimley pops up in your sleep that night.
Diabetes.
I met him last weekend.
Yeah?
He's a crotchety old motherfucker.
No, he was nice shit to me.
Oh, was he?
He was just talking, shooting the shit.
He was wearing a cowboy hat.
Yeah, he was.
Was you talking about the diabetes?
I'm sure he got a few people probably asked him about his
Yeah, I would
diabetes.
imagine
Yeah.
so.
I'm sure.
No, he was really nice to me. I went Sunday though, so it was a lot slower, so I got to talk to him for a little while. It was really nice.
So faster?
What?
You said less slower, so it's
So I got to
faster?
talk to him. What did I say? I don't remember what I said.
That's fine.
You've had a few drinks, so.
That shot is
shit.
kicking in.
That's
Isn't it?
quite all right.
Dude,
Have another one.
That shot is
Lowdown.
totally
no, I said
kicking in.
I got to talk to him for a little bit
feel it in my
longer.
brain.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
This is where I
said
turned down the
it
main
was
volume a
slower,
little
so I got
bit.
to talk to him for longer because Saturday was a shit show at the con. It was a
Oh, I can
goddamn
imagine
nightmare.
so.
It totally was.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
They called the
Sunday-
fire
No,
marshal.
but Lloyd Kaufman, holy
They called the
crap,
fire
dude.
marshal and shut
I got to
the
go wrangle
lounge
him.
down.
I got to go to his booth at the Troma
Damn.
booth, grab Lloyd Kaufman, and bring him back. It was so fun.
That's right. You were the gopher.
I was
got
the
to-
gopher. I'm okay for that.
Lowdown kidnapped Lloyd Kaufman.
No,
Well, and then
Frankie
Lloyd-
Bones came along. It was cool.
No, then Lloyd Kaufman was like, "Hey, this guy's creepy. Frankie Bones, come with me." And then
He's real. I was doing like I was like at least 2 times the size of Lloyd Kaufman, so he's probably like, "Hey, Frankie." Actually, though, when I picked him up, he was Frankie was like off to the side with those two, and I saw Frankie like kind of like did that and Lloyd started walking. He's like, I mean, if you want to come, it's whatever. Like he didn't care. He was just going to come with me, but
Yeah.
Frankie felt unsettled. So that's when they came over.
So you picked up Lloyd Kaufman, is what you just said.
picked him up. He wore Lloyd Kaufman like Yoda in a backpack in Empire.
Actually, I was going to think, it sounds more
I
like
want to
he-
see you leaping over logs carrying that man.
I'm sure he was
I
having
would
a
totally
blast.
do that. That would
I
be
don't know,
great.
that came out a little bit more Silence of the Lambs type. I don't know.
No, but I want to give a shout out to Trauma for the interview.
Seriously,
and just
though.
Oh, sure,
for everything
absolutely.
they've done with us in the past and everything. Trauma's been an absolute blast to work with. They're super easy to work with, and Lloyd and Frankie were great
They
on
were
the
great
interview.
guys.
So,
Yeah, they were great.
We'll have that out. Actually,
When are you whipping it out?
the interview is going to be releasing
Right now?
before
Oh.
on audio is going to release before what you're listening to right now. So if you're listening to this on audio, it's the one we released before this one.
So you've already heard it if you listen to the audio.
yeah.
If you actually listen in order or just pick and choose, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I've heard from listeners that there is some picking and choosing because if they don't know the subject
Context,
matter,
then what's the
yeah,
point?
yeah,
Yeah, what's
then,
the point?
that's fine.
Yeah, I get it.
That's why there's ebbs and flows on our numbers.
But you get
'cause-
to learn stuff if you haven't.
Well, some people like the style of our podcast and listen to all of them. Others just deal with it. They listen to it in spite of our panel style. So
I
I
brought your share.
brought a share as well.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh my! Tell us about it, please.
Brothers Craft
Very
Brewing.
British.
That's a good brewery.
Little
They used to be
Hellion.
3 brothers.
And that is why I brought it, because it used to be known as Three Brothers, as in the 3 brothers from Last Crusade.
Yes.
That protected the Grail. So I figured that was about the best I was
You
going to
chose
That's
wisely.
Wait, like
That's
Timmy,
actually on
like,
tap at Hurley's.
Wait, so like
Nice,
Tim,
it's
so like
good.
Tim the Enchanter. Grail?
Little Hellions on tap.
Grail?
Nice.
Well, it might not be now. They buy small kegs and just rotate a lot between those 20 taps. So things change daily.
do. Wow. That was
you
really
just
loud.
open-
There's a lot of
Champagne?
carbonation in there, dude.
Did you just open champagne? Holy shit!
Apparently so.
No, I bought a 6-pack of that. That's long ago, and there's a lot of carbonation in those beers.
I'm just waiting to like.
too
I'm
much.
going to pull up the audio to edit later, and I'm going to see this like hard fucking spike, and I'm like, "That's where I popped the 3 brothers."
oh god, that sounded so bad.
I want you to think about that for a second. I heard a hard sound, and then
I have a joke that I'm not going to use because it's not better than what you just said.
could you retone that, please?
God damn it! Yeah, please, dude. You gotta do it to yourself. You gotta do it to yourself, man. Oh shit! That's where I popped 3 brothers. Like,
And drank from the fairy fount.
There's
holy shit!
I'm not even going to try to recover from that. Like, I'm just going to move forward.
I'll expect an alert from you later on in the week where I get a
Jesus
sound bite,
Christ.
and I'm good.
I need a
go.
ringtone.
Seriously, dude. That needs to happen, man.
Honestly, like, to be fair, I've ringtoned everybody else. Yeah, that's my ringtone.
Yeah.
A big spike where I pop 3 brothers.
So
And we broke Lowdown.
So expect that to coincide with the release of this episode. Holy shit.
Oh, Hobbit, tell me more.
Stop it.
I'm so disappointed in myself that I didn't recognize what I was saying as I was saying it.
No, you should be proud of yourself because that was amazing.
It was a split second
proud of
after. The
yourself.
minute I finished saying the words, I went, like, this is the worst thing I could have said.
Dude, that's the story of your life, dude.
Oh, shit.
No, he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
The words said after every one of his relationships.
Or every time he has sex. What?
This is the worst thing I could have said right now.
No,
haven't finished
after
this.
sex,
I
it's
still
normally, are you
Thank
okay?
you.
What are you thinking? Did I do okay? What's up?
Is it all right?
Is it okay?
Why are you leaving?
All right, so all joking aside, what did you bring from Brothers Brewing?
To get back to Brothers Craft Brewing, Little Hellion, which is their lager.
It's good. Just it's really overly carbonated though.
So they didn't have one called Short Stack or
It's very easy drinking, 4.9%. It's a super easy lager.
Oh yeah.
does it finish clean?
So the 3 brothers were super easy.
Yes, yes. All 3 brothers. The middle brother gave me a little bit of malt, but
Outside of what I brought to share, I'm also drinking Evil 8 by Blue Mountain Brewery. East Coast local again, bitch. I'm East Coast local all day today.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
scrolling through. It's a Belgian style double ale. It's delicious. I don't know.
we're never gonna finish this episode.
Nope, never gonna happen.
All right, we should just rifle through it.
Yeah,
All right,
let's go.
Let's
I'm
go.
drinking Old
Let's go.
Ezra, 7 years old. Nice sour mash bourbon whiskey.
Well done,
Delicious.
Grucy.
I am drinking the Deschutes Black Butte Porter, which would be West Coast local. And I'm also drinking the Ardbeg 10, non-chill filtered, natural color,
Both
the way
are
Scott
good.
should be.
Yeah, fair.
You don't like Ardbeg.
Oh, you're right. I don't.
No, you don't. It
is
is
that-
peaty as fuck.
Oh yeah,
He's
don't.
had enough.
Fuck
in
a
him,
peaty
now
scotch.
He likes everything.
No. I would drink that and bleh. It's fucking gross.
And then I'm just going back to an old favorite, Bold Rock IPAs, back out in stores on sale. So
It has never gone away. My Kroger's had the entire winter,
the
dude.
Kroger near me didn't have
Your
it.
Kroger sucks, big fat
They were
cock.
pushing that citrus one for like a few months. So yeah.
Was it
Well,
the blood orange one? Is that the
Yeah,
one you're
yeah,
talking
they
about?
have blood orange
No,
and
the
the
blood
regular.
orange is still good. But
that never went anywhere.
my store did.
you should go to a different store.
It's one of those things. You go to different stores to buy what you want. I go to like 7 different ABC stores to buy the various liquors to keep mine stocked.
See? Yeah.
I go
Yeah.
to the closest one in my house before I
Which
come
is, like,
here,
right across
so-
the street.
Yeah.
And that's
Dan-
why you've missed out.
Dan, you had 2, right? That you were.
yeah, no,
talking-
we already talked about the Two-Hearted Ale.
Oh, okay. Two-hearted, and then the.
Yeah, Hobbit, we're
Okay,
behind.
cool. Just making sure everybody got
Keep
covered.
up.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into Indiana Jones then.
You already got into Three Brothers.
We
so-
gotta do.
Oh.
All right. Before we continue, we have a new segment on Geeks Under the Influence that our panelists and a few listeners really enjoy, called "Making a Drunken Scene." So let me play the theme music real quick. Making a drunken scene. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giggity.
So we've got a few scenes here picked out, and I'm not sure who's playing what to start. Have we dictated a particular scene mostly?
I think
Yeah, I'm doing Mutt. So
Oh, are we doing Crystal Skull to start? Let's
no,
do
what
that
we're
one.
doing,
No,
we're doing
no,
the.
no,
We're just gonna go in order. So whoever's doing the Temple of Doom one.
All right, Temple of Doom. Who's going to be Willie?
I'll be Willie.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
you will.
Who's Indy on that one? Has somebody claimed?
No, he's the last one. So who's Indy?
I'm Henry Jones.
Let me
Sr.
Indy on that one.
Indy on that one. All right.
All right, and there's Willie and Indy. Is there anybody else?
Nope, just Willie and
No,
Indy.
okay.
Just you and me,
All
baby.
right, here we go. Oh yeah, baby.
I can be hard to handle,
I've had worse.
but you'll never have better.
I don't know. As a scientist, I don't want to prejudice my experiment, I'll let you know in the morning.
Why, you conceited ape. I'm not that easy. Fucking read, Hobbit.
No, sorry. I'm not that easy either. The trouble with you, Willie, is you're too used to getting your own way.
And you're just too proud to admit that you're crazy about me, Dr. Jones.
If you want me, Willie, you know where you can find me.
5 minutes. You'll get back here in 5 minutes.
I'll be asleep in 5 minutes because I am so fucking stoned right now.
5. You know it, and I know it.
End scene. End scene.
And bow?
Woo, yay, and bow. All right.
Golf clap.
Next one up is from the movie that doesn't exist.
I'm doing a slow clap.
Oh, I need more blood of Kali after that.
Crystal Skull. So is this all mashed out? Everybody's got their parts for
Who's
this
Indy
one?
on this one?
I think I'm doing Indy as...
Who's doing Marion? Because at the end, Marion and I have to do something.
Yeah, because you're doing Mutt. I'm Indy.
I think Hunter should do Marion.
All right.
All right, cool.
Hold on. I got to find the voice again. I'm drunk.
Yeah,
we
didn't prep up a little bit because I
Let's
want that
Geeks
voice.
Under the
I want that
Influence. We
voice.
should be getting drunk.
It's gonna get really fucking
yeah.
like
All right.
liquidy
Okay,
in
I've got
here.
All right.
Are we good?
You ready?
Yes.
All right,
All right, I'm just going to... All right.
here we go.
Grab on.
Rat snakes.
It's a rat snake.
Rat snakes aren't that big.
Well, this one is. All right? It's not even poisonous. Now grab on.
Go get something else.
Like what?
Like a rope or something.
There's no sales of Robux here. Grab the snake.
Maybe I can touch the bottom.
There's no bottom. Now grab it.
Fuck you.
I think I can feel it with my feet.
Grab the snake.
Stop calling it that.
It's a snake. What do you want me to call it?
Say rope.
What?
Grab the rope.
Grab the rope. You're supposed to say it with me.
Oh, sorry.
Holy shit.
I can't do this anymore.
It was your idea. It was your idea.
You know, this whole podcast was my idea, and I'm regretting both of these things at the same time.
I actually enjoyed myself for the first time on this podcast during that.
Thank you, Dr. Frankenfurter.
Thank you, sir.
That was pretty solid.
Jesus
Nice.
Christ. All right, so
Made my heart
finally,
happy.
we're doing from Last Crusade. I think is the last one, right?
Yeah.
It's a race against evil.
All right, so do we got everybody?
I'll be
placed for the-
Sala as
Well,
I
no,
already called.
he's Sala.
Okay.
You're Indy, right?
I'm Henry Jones.
Is that the only two?
Who's
We need
I'll be
a-
I'm Henry
Marcus.
Jones Sr.
And Lowdown calls Brody.
Cheers.
So here we go.
Marcus. You didn't drag Paul Marcus.
And scene.
Please, what does it always mean, this Junior?
That's his name. Henry Jones Jr.
I didn't think I was actually doing anything in this film.
I like
Wait.
Indiana.
We named a dog Indiana.
May we go home now, please?
The dog? You named after the dog? Ha ha ha.
I've got a lot of fond memories of that dog.
This one was a fail.
Yeah, that was a total fail. On
We
the end of it.
forgot
All right.
the person to be Indiana Jones.
Indiana
Alright,
Jones.
yeah, let's just fuck that scene. Yeah, we're done. We're done with that one.
Look what you did.
All right, now back into the actual meat of the episode, which is all things Indiana Jones. So let's get going on that one. We've talked about the first three movies. We've talked about the love interest of Indiana Jones. Is there anything that anybody really wants to start off in the second half with?
Yes, we do need to. We've already expressed a little vitriol, or a lot of vitriol, over Crystal Skull. But let's spend 5 minutes on that.
Oh, God. Why?
got to.
Why?
We got to.
Why?
I have a feeling we're going to spend more time on Crystal Skull than we do the other other movies because of how much fucking hatred I have for that fucking
Oh,
movie.
you have,
Oh my
I haven't-
God.
You thought I
You
unleashed on Origins? You have no idea.
Okay, all right. Let me place my defense for the movie.
No, fuck you and your defense.
No, fuck you and you listen to me.
No.
All right?
He's just playing the role
No,
of
no,
the bad
no, no.
guy.
This is called Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, let's let him devil's
All right.
advocate. Let's back away. Let
So-
him finish his conversation before we tell him to get the fuck out.
As the biggest fucking indie fan, I fucking didn't loathe the movie on the same level as a lot of people did, and here's why. Here's
German.
Here's why. There were no Germans in that movie. However,
That's why you should hate it.
no. All right. So a lot of people, their biggest gripe with the movie was the fact that it was about aliens. That was a
Kate
huge
Blanchett.
plot thing. Okay, that's a big one. Now, I didn't so much have a problem with that. The biggest problem I had with the movie was the fact that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg felt the need to try to trump the entire trilogy in one movie with ridiculous, like super over the top. Like all the movies are over the top, but they went so far further. You know, nuclear atomic bomb in a fucking like fridge. Okay.
Yes!
It's riding a Jeep down not one but 3 fucking waterfalls. Like it was
Yes.
it was so like over the top. It took me out of the experience because
Trying to make Shia LaBeouf cool. Like, that's really the main thing that I have an issue
Don't forget about the monkeys.
Shia LaBeouf was not the biggest deal for me. in that movie. Okay. There have been weak characters here and there. Willie, I mean, however, it wasn't the aliens. It wasn't Shia LaBeouf. I thought it was just the fact that they were trying to trump all 3 movies with one, and it went way south of heaven.
You already covered it.
Okay.
Can I just say one of the big fuck yous is the snake in the quicksand scene is such a goddamn idiotic scene.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody can
Which we
defend
just
it,
covered,
please
by the
do.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's fucking awful. At that point, I don't know how you can continue watching the movie from there.
Indiana Jones, a man that has dealt with so much shit in his entire life, and he's an old man, he needs to hear you call it rope before he grabs the snake. It's the most fucking basic
stupid
bullshit
No,
ever.
my biggest thing with it is like I look at some of the actors that are actually in this, like John Hurt, for instance, who I've had huge respect for.
May he rest in
peace.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask him before he died, I guarantee you, like his first thought would be like, "All right, I never should have done that." You know, I was like, you know, you do some really great work. Even King Ralph was a huge step up from this.
Fuck,
You have a valid point there, and that was a wretched ass movie.
I love King Ralph.
I love King Ralph, but he
What
like
the
even
fuck?
but even his performance. Even his performance in King Ralph is so much better than what we had to experience with this. Like, oh, what, you're like invisibly writing on walls and shit? Come on.
My other big issue was the fact that they relied on CGI so heavily as opposed to practical fucking effects.
Yes.
Because it was so pronounced. And what year was it? 2008?
2008.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, we were at a time where CGI could look good, but they still relied on it so heavily. Like the ant scene. Come on, dude.
And not only that, but the ants were fucking terrible.
There we go.
looking.
Fucking ant scene. Holy shit. I was in the theater watching that and I literally got pissed off. I'm like, you're seriously doing this right now? This horrible.
It looked like a
Horrible.
A level effect.
It was a complete rip-off
how
of like
is
the
ILM,
Scorpion King.
How is
basically?
ILM putting their name on this movie? Because that looked terrible.
Yeah, but like my biggest thing beyond that even was, okay, so you bring in Kate Blanchett, who is a pretty solid actress in her own right. I mean, not even thinking about the Lord of the Rings, she's been in like really phenomenal stuff, and she's been an amazing actress.
And then she does an accent that fucking parallels dude from Congo.
Correct. And here's the thing, she's supposed to be Ukrainian, so she sounds Ukrainian, quasi-Ukrainian in like a couple of different spots, but then
I can do
there's
a
even
better
spots
Ukrainian
where
accent
correct, and she even sounds British in spots. I'm like, how do you can't even as a director, as Steven Spielberg, you can't sit there and be like, okay, well, you just sounded British for the last minute of that whole monologue that you were just doing, so you can't, like, how do you even let that go to print?
She watched a lot of Rocky and Bullwinkle to get that accent down pat, all right? Seriously.
Going to get squirrel.
South Park perfectly summed up this movie with the one line,
Yes.
"You raped my childhood."
Yes.
They raped him.
But like, tagging back onto the CGI, like, you remember the end scene where, like, they find the temple and there's all the aliens sitting up high? Like, when that whole scene of it crumbling and everything, that looks it was like such dog shit. It looked horrible.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it in theaters. I'm like, this looks, it looks like I'm watching a cartoon almost with, like, live action people plotted into it. It's like I was watching Cool World or something.
I've actually
It looked
forgot
horrible.
about
I
that
think
because I've
Cool
only
World was
seen
better.
it one time
I've
in
only
the
seen
theater.
it once, but it looked like shit. It looked horrible.
Well, I think what that film ran into that a number of other films have as well is that there's a feeling that you have to trump the previous films. Like Grutz was saying earlier, that you've got to make it bigger and huger than the previous films. And as big and epic as Indiana Jones was, what's the next move? Aliens? No, that's bullshit. I would prefer a smaller film where, like, you take the same premise where Indiana Jones finds out he has a kid and you go on a smaller adventure much closer to the first one.
And trying to abort Shia LaBeouf.
And trying to, like, physically abort him the entire time would be great. But to have kind of a, I guess the better way to do a I'm getting too old for this shit movie is much like they did with Rocky Balboa. I love the way they did that, or also with Creed, to take it in a totally different.
Pass the torch.
Where
Creed was great.
It's a proper passing of the torch where they're not trying to make it bigger than the previous movies. They're actually making it smaller, making it more of about the characters than the actual grandiose scale of the previous films. And you have a character development and you have a character kind of profile. And that makes the passing of the torch work. You can't do grandiose and also pass the torch at the same time. It does not work.
You're right. I completely agree.
It does not fucking work.
Now, I will say this, is that I really got hard into the trade paperbacks in the 90s.
Hard.
Yeah, I did.
Like Brothers Hard.
But they were good. They were pulpy novels you could read in like 5-6 hours. You know, they weren't
pulpy hard?
super long, but they were good Indiana Jones adventures. Any of those would have made a better movie than Crystal Skull.
You talking about the Marvel Comics ones?
No. I'm talking about the I think it was Bantam Books. They put out trade novels.
Yeah,
okay?
no, those were great. The video games even were better.
Fate of
Like
Atlantis.
how bad is it when you can actually look at something and say, like, oh, actually, this video game that came out 4 or 5 years ago is better than what we just put out.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to see Fate of Atlantis as a movie.
Young Indiana
Yes,
Jones
that was
Chronicles
solid.
wasn't bad either.
No.
Well, and
Sean Patrick Flannery.
I want to touch base on that too, because there were 2 different series, right? There was the Young Indiana Jones, and then the War Years came out as well, right?
Well, no, it originally was released as a TV show called Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, and it was re-edited in 2000 into 22 basically movies.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, like many movies.
Like the set you can buy now. Okay, there's 3 volumes. Okay, there's like there's the early years, there's the middle years, and the war years. I forget the names, but there are 22 episodes. Okay, I believe 22, 23, something like that. And originally there were 30-minute TV shows,
Right.
and they were re-edited like 3 at a time. It was like one story into these movies. And a little bit of trivia: Harrison Ford actually shows up as Indiana Jones in episode 22, I think.
Yeah.
At a brief stand, it's supposed to be 1950, so it would have been right before like Crystal Skull, and he's like has this little like adventure, which is like the bookends to looking back to like his young Indiana Jones days.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's in it as Indiana Jones.
So if you're a diehard Indiana Jones fan, which is probably part of the reason, if you haven't listened to previous episodes of the podcast, that you're listening to this, there you go. Yes. Like, here's a thing. Here's your holy grail to find.
But they were great. They were great.
I was gonna say the World War I episodes are
Oh my
fucking
God.
Yes, they are.
amazing.
Yeah, with him, with like Sean Patrick Flannery
Yeah, they're
playing
really
young
fucking good.
Indiana Jones was just, it was phenomenal. Like the ones when he was
was
like
dreamy.
a 6-year-old kid, you know, when they bring in like you know, like the one that I remember from that actually is when they bring in the guy that was like the coach on Major League to play like Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm kind of like, all right, well, then you get to see like a younger version of Henry Jones Sr. And you're kind of like, all right, well, at least he's trying to pull off the Connery accent, which isn't easy to do.
No.
You know? I mean, it's pretty solid. So like to go back and watch all of that, like I was watching it, I don't know, a year and a half or so ago when it was on Netflix. And I was kind of baffled because there were kind of gaps, you know,
Yeah.
in it a little bit. I was like, all right, well, there's that, and then didn't show a whole lot of it when he was like a teenager and stuff in the Foreign Legion, and it was just kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
it was kind of a Forrest Gump in a sense that he just like met everyone and was in all these different scenarios and like, you know,
or Doctor Who, like one of the
something
other.
like that.
Or
where it's just
almost like that he had to incorporate every aspect of everything that happened in that time period at the same time.
Yeah.
Almost like when you do a flashback and you have everything that develops a character happen within 20 minutes.
basically.
Like your clown episode?
Yeah, basically like that. Yeah.
it almost makes me scared a little bit for Indiana Jones 5. That obviously isn't scheduled to come out for a couple more years. All right, but like when is this going to take place? Is it going to take place like during the 60s? Is that what's going to happen with it? I mean, are we going to have something where it's like
what he's in fucking Vietnam?
that's
like
that's like I've got
Indiana
things crossing
Jones?
my head.
8 years old in Vietnam.
Here's the one thing.
Indiana Jones gets his leg blown off by a fucking because he gave a candy bar to a small Asian child.
Here's the one thing that actually makes me feel really great about it though, because when Disney purchased Lucasfilm, they didn't only get Star Wars, they also got Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
All right, so you kind of look at that last offering, which I don't want to talk about anymore, as kind of the same as the Star Wars prequels. Like, it's gonna get better
Because George Lucas was still involved.
Well, that's
Correct.
That's what I'm gonna say is with Disney in charge of it. Look what they did with Harrison Ford with Han Solo and Force Awakens. They could easily get away with that with Indiana Jones and pass the torch without doing a Crystal Skull scenario, but actually good director, good screenwriter, actually good fucking movie. Because
Spielberg's already
I'm pretty
on.
sure we're all united here. We like Force Awakens.
Spielberg is
Oh,
in.
absolutely.
He's in
Love
for
it.
it.
So J.J. Abrams is going to rewrite Raiders of the Lost Ark?
No.
I would take that though.
But you know what? I'll take that over Crystal Skull.
I would
any day of the
totally
week.
take that over Crystal
You,
Skull.
you do this X-Men style where like there's in episode 5 it's like turns out it wasn't my kid, and then you just move on with the rest of the fucking storyline where like Marion just got around and ended up having a kid. And,
The X-Men universe is completely ignored last stand.
but you do the same thing where it's just like fucking Mutt Williams or whatever the fuck his name is is not Indy's kid.
The French archaeologist.
or he gets aborted or something like that.
or
you know?
no, he like dies. I don't know, checking out holes in a desert somewhere or something. I don't know.
Can we just make Crystal Skull like a fever dream that Indy had? It was like, oh man, it was weird. It was fucking aliens. I had a kid that was a biker.
like a reverse Dallas?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
a greaser at that too, man. Like I'm gonna comb my hair back, but
That would be Indy's worst nightmare. Is this like fucking? I don't like school. I don't like talking to. I don't like artifacts. I like combing my hair, and like that's his kid.
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Totally.
But there needs. I would love a throw off line. Is like Mutt, died in a train wreck, and then just move on, and he's not even really that upset about it, and then just move forward, and it's like some other person like understudy that he's known for years that we never heard of in previous films that like he thinks of as a second son that shows up, and it's.
Or maybe it's his grandchild.
Or maybe
It's Jay Baruchel, and then
God, no.
maybe
All right,
it's,
we're done. Anthony.
Maybe it's 30-year-old freaking like short round.
There we go. That
I'm
would
in.
be
No, I'm
that-
in.
No,
I'm fucking in.
Totally in
Fuck
for
yeah.
that.
Get that kid out of fucking retirement, man.
no shit.
Or
Bring him in.
bring in the dude that played Sulu in Star Trek. There you go, Abrams connection. So
There we go.
There you go.
Except he changed Asians. If you do that.
wait, you go from Vietnamese to Korean, I guess, at that point?
Was it Chinese to Korean? I think.
Well, no, I think-
Europeans are interchangeable, so are Asians.
Exactly.
I don't fucking care at this point.
Oh God!
Yeah,
there
so-
goes our Chinese market.
Shit.
Free Tibet.
You tell me the difference between the French and the German other than their ability to surrender. I can't tell the difference.
I'd say there's a big difference with their wine.
yes.
German wine is fucking terrible. French wine is delicious.
I'm saying looking
Germans
at
make
it.
Isn't
beer.
German wine just
I'm saying
complaining that
looking
they
at
lost
them.
the war?
German wine is sweet like the tears of the Jews they killed.
Oh.
You said it.
Grutz rebuttal.
I got nothing, man.
So you know how sweet the Jews' tears were then, right?
I just heard it from Grutz. I
Oh,
don't.
that
I
was
don't
okay.
personally-
Oh, trying to pawn that off on me
he,
now.
He drinks them every Tuesday
Yeah.
What's really in this?
with this soy
Kali
milk.
Ma.
So
Blood of Kali
let's
Ma.
let's brainstorm here. We're talking about they're talking about Harrison Ford coming back for a 5th Indiana Jones movie. Let's brainstorm. What would we like to see? What should Indiana Jones discover? What is the big thing that he's looking for? The focus of the film.
We've done the Ark, and we've done the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, and we've already done
The child slavery and weird glowing stones that has nothing to do with anything in history.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
We'll bypass that because it's not actually
Yeah,
history
yeah.
based.
we go like King Solomon, maybe.
No, they already covered that in Alan Quartermain.
Alan Quartermain.
No, but the
Some of
Alan
the best
Quartermain's-
indie ripoffs
but,
ever.
But Alan Quartermain is a completely different. I mean, that's completely separate.
No, but that's
so-
that's way too much life imitating art, imitating life. Where Alan Quartermain was a direct ripoff of Indiana Jones.
No, absolutely.
Indiana Jones is like,
Or wait, or
fuck
was
you.
it the other way around?
We're doing it. No,
Because
it was definitely-
Quartermain,
No, it was definitely post indie.
It was
Yeah.
post.
Yeah.
from a movie standpoint, yes, but
Yeah.
The golden tablets of Mormonism that were lost after he translated.
Oh, that would be
them.
hilarious. Oh, he's so good.
That's the name of the episode is Indiana Jones and the Golden Tablets of Mormonism.
Oh no, I do like
Hands down.
I do like
Get Trey
on the-
Parker and Matt
on the
Stone
mouth
in on
voice
this.
and on the face.
well, no, but how about something in all seriousness? How about something like Egyptian? You know,
No,
because
no,
he's
fuck that.
no.
Indiana Jones and the lost files of Obama wiretapping Trump.
No.
It'd be
It's
like
gonna be huge.
But why not do a Middle Eastern religion and artifact?
No,
like-
seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good idea. They haven't really touched on that. Everything's been Middle Eastern, but it's not like
You could bring
Easter.
Salah
it's still
back.
Christianity.
You could
Yeah,
totally
but
bring
Eastern-
Salah back with that.
you could totally do
Or
Eastern.
Treebeard,
Yeah,
or
there's
Treebeard, or Gimli.
you could do,
Either
there's
one.
a huge swath of stuff you can do in that.
Dude,
religion.
Library of Alexandria?
the
or...
fucking
Yeah.
the clay army. You can
Oh,
do something
yeah.
with the clay
Yeah.
army.
Yeah,
big
great.
time. Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
a whole lot going on. Ancient religions, man, that are predate Christianity that we can touch into.
Yeah.
Or
but,
Taoism.
but to be
Taoism.
fair, they are no match for a blaster. They are
I still
definitely.
fucking Fate of Atlantis. Still Atlantis. Come on.
No,
Find the
that's
Lost City
another
of
that's
Atlantis?
another great one.
That
Yeah.
would be fucking amazing.
It was a video game.
Yeah.
Make it into a movie.
The Staff of Kings was another good one.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones and the early rewrites of Dianetics.
Yeah, see Indiana Jones talking about thetans.
Yeah, man.
Now, I saw some rumors where they were talking about with the fifth movie, possible people, and I think they brought up Chris Pratt as one of the main.
No, that's an old rumor.
Yeah, that was like 2 years
no,
ago.
but I
I
actually
mean-
heard that too. So I mean,
But
that's-
to me, that makes sense if you're going to pass
As
the
a young
torch.
indie.
Yeah, but I'm saying passing the torch. You know,
I agree. When I first read that, like right after Guardians came out in like 2015 or 2014, like they meant it was after Jurassic World. It was
Yeah,
after it
Jurassic
was right
World,
around
yeah.
Jurassic World release in 2015. They mentioned him being a young indie, and I get that. But at the same time, like I don't see that really happening because like they're pretty much getting ready to go into production for Guardians 3, and I don't really see him.
they can take their time if they don't rush it and they make a good movie. I don't fucking care.
But they do have they've already said that they're doing another indie movie, and they're going to have a deadline. If like the deadline for the next indie movie is the same deadline for Guardians 3, that's not going to be Chris Pratt. You know,
I love some Chris Pratt. He's
I do,
a good actor,
I do. He's amazing.
but he doesn't.
it's phenomenal.
The man can't pull off the intelligence needed for an Indiana Jones.
That is so true, though. He's got.
Well,
the
no,
He's
no,
got
no,
the
I'll
adventure,
say
but he
this.
can't pull off the
I'll say
intelligence.
this: he can't pull it off so far. Okay. No,
Are you saying he
seriously.
would 21 Jump Street Indiana Jones? Or, like it's a little bit more zany, but you totally appreciate it because it's still fun, but it's not the same thing as the
No,
original.
here's the thing. Like, I think it's more of the we've never seen him do it.
Because he can't.
Okay.
I think he tried to in Passengers, and the movie failed.
I never saw
It's a
it.
sci-fi
seen it
movie.
yet.
I mean,
He failed in that, apparently. But apparently that's where the intelligence part came in, and it got like 20% run. Yeah. So
was
kinda
there anybody
upsets
else?
me 'cause
Is there anybody that somebody would see as a good like?
young indie, like
Yeah.
take pressing the torch.
Jason Statham.
No, fuck you.
No, we
in
don't
fairness-
need. Wait, we don't need a bald Indiana Jones. Okay.
Listen up, Nazi.
Do it with a British accent, dude.
Listen
You know
up,
I
Nazi.
can't.
Well, then don't try.
Wait, listen up, Nazi.
What I'm saying is, though, think about it this way. We can all come up with ideas, and that's actually a really hard idea. But did we all think that we would get the Creed crossover that we did? No. Look, that was literally one of the best passing of the torch movies I've seen in a long time, and that was out of fucking left field.
Yeah.
That movie was, and so like, who's to say that we're not going to get the same thing within the next indie movie?
We're going to need a relatively unknown.
I would agree, honestly.
All that dude did before was the Fantastic Four movie, and what else did he have in his regime?
Not much at all.
The shitty third Fantastic Four movie.
Oh wait, so the guy that's
Who saw
directing the
that?
new Indiana Jones?
Nobody, not even he saw that.
Wait,
Which
wait,
one?
wait, wait,
The
wait. Scotty,
third Fantastic Four movie.
No, I finally saw it.
Oh, how was that?
Why?
Did
You watched
kill
it,
yourself?
like, on
No, you didn't.
purpose?
You're good.
It was
You're
free
still
on
good.
HBO, so I sat down and I watched it. And
The whole thing.
over 3 times of trying, I finally finished it.
You passed out
Okay.
every
Why?
time, didn't you?
Why?
It's morbid curiosity, and it's really so because I'm a big Fantastic Four fan in the comics.
Why?
It's really, really not good. Like, it's super, super duper not good. Like, if there was an additional duper I could add to that without it getting weird, I would add the duper.
You could just say super. You could just say infinite duper. Infinite duper.
It's infinite duper bad. Yes.
No, it makes the ones with like Jessica Alba and everybody look like so fucking
It looks
amazing.
That's depressing. That's very depressing.
It's almost
This
like
movie's
looking
ass.
back on Bush as a president going, like, he wasn't that bad. Like,
Well, actually, we can say that now.
Currently, that might not be an issue.
I'm saying
Right.
it's like, it's
At
the,
least
it's
you
the
could look
tri-
back on Bush and go, he seems like a nice guy.
So I'm saying that the newest Fantastic Four is the Trump of superhero movies.
Grabbing pussies
You
left and
remember?
right.
You remember
There's
when,
no
like, right when
disagreement
Obama got
there.
elected, like the first couple of years, you kept seeing the pictures of Bush and it said "Miss me now." Those are more prevalent now.
Oh, yeah,
than
super.
when Obama was.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were, yeah.
My,
Holy shit.
my commie girlfriend flat out admitted that she misses Bush.
Because Trump.
No, she was actually just talking about her college years.
Oh,
Different thing entirely.
well done.
Yeah.
Good job, sir.
Yeah.
Good job. But no, seriously, I think that when it
I'm
comes
hung like
to
a clit.
when it comes to a passing of the torch, we're going to get a unknown, low-level actor that's going to come in and it's going to just knock our fucking socks off, as happened with Creed for me.
Now,
Like,
here's the trick, and this is what I worry about with somebody playing a new Indiana Jones is how it's what I was worried about with Star Trek being rebooted is how do you do justice to the character without just doing your impression of the actor doing the character? That's really the hard part. I mean, you saw a little bit of that. I love Carl Urban, but he was totally doing his version of Bones.
It was
I
so
think
good, though.
He did his own take on it, is why it kind
It
of
was really good, though. It was really good.
What I would say is that we're going to find out real hard in a year or two when the Han Solo prequel movie comes out. Because the guy they cast for him,
I know.
the only time I saw him was in Inherent Vice, Paul Thomas Anderson movie. And
Yeah.
you know, he played this little
Joaquin Phoenix.
cowboy dude.
Yeah.
You know, and he was an unknown actor sort of thing, and he's going to be the new Han Solo, so we'll see how that fucking goes.
You have him incoherently mumble throughout the movie like the new Mad Max.
Whatever, dude. Don't hate on Tom Hardy. Don't even hate on Tom
Oh,
Hardy.
I
man.
love that movie, but he incoherently mumbled throughout that movie.
You just made it personal when you attacked Tom Hardy because he's got a hard on for Hardy.
I do, man. Have you finished Taboo yet?
No, I've got like
The
2
way
more
I figure
episodes to watch.
he overstudied for his role in Lawless, and it just kind of stuck.
No,
much like
he went from Bane to Lawless, and you pretty much get the same character. He's like,
Well, and then there's Bronson.
Did he? I haven't watched Lawless,
That was
so
early
did he
on.
talk the same and everything too? Like,
he talked really low and gruff, but not as like regal like he did in Bane. Like, he
So
had that
what's it
regal
like-
thing going on? It's weird.
we give it back to you.
Yeah, he didn't have that.
yeah,
in
but
Lawless.
if he said that in Lawless, he'd be like, "We're giving back to you."
Yeah, exactly. That would be, and they hit you with the fucking brass knuckles. But no, don't hate on Tom Hardy, sir.
I do not.
Because you're right, Bronson is a shit, and that was actually what got me on that Tom Hardy train. Was like,
hell yeah.
You simply
2012,
adopted
I
the
saw that
darkness.
shit.
I
So,
was born in it.
Quickly before we conclude, because we're very close to the end here, let's talk about some of the knockoff movies that came from Indiana Jones.
Romancing the Stone is awesome.
Romancing the Stone is absolutely
The
fantastic.
second movie sucked.
But Romancing the Stone,
Because a jewel is a person?
winking the entire time that it's a knockoff of Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the entire fucking time.
I mean, that was
Now-
the purpose. Wasn't
And we already talked about the Alan Quartermain movies.
Alan Quartermain,
Lost City of
there's-
Gold,
and
and
King Solomon's Mine.
King Solomon's
Solomon
Mine.
Yeah,
Mine,
yeah, yeah.
which had a great opening, by the way, with the spikes coming down and killing the guy.
Wasn't it James Earl Jones in one of those
In the
movies?
second, yeah.
in the second
Second.
movie.
And
yeah.
Sharon Stone was in both.
I was about to say, Sharon
Yeah.
Stone
Early
was in the
Sharon
first
Stone.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had big and who was Alan Quartermain in the
Richard Chamberlain.
Richard Chamberlain.
Those were fun flicks,
know
man.
that?
No, but they were so like balls to the wall campy. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
where they don't
Oh,
hold
yeah.
up like the Indiana Jones movies. I rewatched some of those getting ready for the episode, and they hold up. I mean, they're campy. They're supposed to be campy. They're
Yeah.
fun as shit, but they hold up. Alan Quartermain does not hold up at all.
They hold up in only the nostalgic
The
stuff.
cheesiest.
You're
of-
just like, oh, this is so good.
yeah.
No, you know what actually holds up a lot better is Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series.
True.
It's like, I'm
That's
sorry,
true.
because that to me, from the first time that I started playing any of those games, I was like, all right, this feels a lot like an Indiana Jones.
Because it's
Adventure.
Pitfall updated.
Because it is.
Yeah.
It's Pitfall updated. I mean, and you get a lot of the same thing where like you're looking for a specific artifact, but you have to go through a lot of shit.
Well, we
to get
talked
it.
about on the break. I think it was Crump that said, "Did anybody else feel like Pitfall was basically the video game version of Indiana Jones, where he's just like swinging over pits the whole time?"
Of alligators and
Yeah.
it's like pits, and then you have pits and alligators, and that was pretty much the whole game.
Yeah, that's basically
And
the
vines.
first two Indiana
yeah.
Jones
Look at the
movies in video game form, and then and-
No, I always imagined that when I was playing that as a kid. It was like, all right, well, I'm not swinging over just like alligators. Like, I'm actually, this is a whip that's kind of hanging, and I'm Indiana Jones going across.
yeah,
it,
right.
You know, when I was playing on the 2600.
All right, so I'm gonna rattle off
Atari.
a few titles
Atari, yeah.
Okay,
that are definitely worth seeing.
hit it.
Jake Speed, okay, has John Hurt as the villain.
Of course, Anthony's
John
going to
Hurt
bring
is
these
a
like
great
weird things
villain.
that
No,
even
no.
our listeners or viewers are not going to be able to find unless they call some like Korean
No, they're
fucking,
out
like
there.
film distribution company.
They're out there. You can find them.
They're all out there. It depends on how far you want to dig, Anthony. Not everyone wants to fucking spend a day digging for a movie.
You can
truth
find
is out
these
there.
things.
Well, if
That's
it's
right.
Indiana Jones, I mean, yeah, you're gonna dig.
Jake Speed, The Perils of Gwendoline and the Land of Yik Yak, which is hilarious.
I feel like you're making these up.
No, dude, I'm serious. I have the posters for these. They're fucking
Wait,
amazing.
what's the avocado jungle one?
Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle
Yes!
of Death.
Yes.
With fucking what's his nuts?
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, yeah.
Bill Maher
What?
is in it. Yes.
My ass.
Shit,
Yes.
I've seen
Wait,
that.
Bill
And
Maher-
Adrienne
Bill Maher-
Barbeau.
yeah.
Adrienne Barbeau's in that.
Bill Maher is actually in a
Adrian
movie.
Barbeau. Yeah.
Whammy.
Being
Sure,
a
what's his face
topless in
died
it,
recently,
though.
right?
Bill Maher is in it.
Other
as a-
women
as
are.
a
I don't think she is.
He's a misogynistic douche in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so he
He's
plays.
the-
he played him.
So he plays himself.
He's
I
the
was about to
adventure
say
guy.
that.
He's the indie character.
Way less hookers and blow in the movie, but
And I will say one of the bigger ones that a lot of people know, of course, is Firewalker with Chuck Norris.
Yeah,
Sure.
And Lou Gossett Jr.
yeah.
These
Chuck
all
Norris.
came out in the 80s within like about 4 or 5 years of Indiana Jones. And they all just they're just knockoffs. They in one way or another. They're all knockoffs and they're fucking fun. They're bad, but they're fun.
You mentioned Adrian Barbeau. I was going to say, you heard that one of the co-creators of Swamp Thing
Bernie Wrightson.
Bernie
Yeah,
Wrightson passed
passed
away.
away today.
today.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Way to bring me down, man.
No, I was just, it hadn't been brought up either. I'm just like,
Yeah, I
hey, I like Alan Moore's run of Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
You know, still the man who created it is the man that deserves the credit for it.
Now we did mention the short round connection to Goonies earlier, but Goonies is definitely a homage to Indiana Jones.
Oh,
I mean,
of course.
it's basically a little kid version of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I mean, you find a map and then you got to find the
I mean,
X on the
it's-
map.
Yeah,
basically.
it's so
although
completely.
Well, it was also Spielberg produced.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I mean, anything Spielberg touches is basically magic.
I think
mean,
Spielberg,
there are the exceptions.
he got
but-
the Lucas taste out of his mouth. He was like, I'm going to do this with kids because I'm really good directing kids. And
Yeah.
so he did like the kid version.
yeah, and you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier before the podcast, but you know, there's a scene in The Last Crusade where he talks about the X never really marking the spot.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, they go to the library and it's like, oh, X marks the spot. And, of course, they get, and I hate to bring it up again, but the Crystal Skull, when they're talking about, like, X marks the spot, when they're actually looking at the map and everything for it or where they're supposed to go. And that to me was like just the epitome of how horrible that movie was. Like, all right, Last Crusade was kind of the perfect ending to everything. They ride off into the sunset, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
All right, they ride off into the sunset. They already had the whole thing where it's like, all right, X never marks a spot, but then X actually marks the spot. And then they turn around and they just kind of screw everything up again.
That's why there's 3 movies. Only 3.
And that's why I think moving forward with any project, producers need to understand that there needs to be a very good reason to reopen a movie series. It's not just because of money, but you've got to have an actually really legitimate script to find reason to start that story again. It can't be just because money is good. You're going to ruin the entire series of movies for people. You're going to make people so pissed at your movie company where they're writing the fucking CEO of the movie company and shit if you don't have a really good reason to start that story again.
All right, I can't believe this actually hasn't... Well, I can believe this hasn't been brought up. The Big Bang Theory thing about Raiders of the Lost Ark and Indy was useless to it, that everything would have happened without Indy.
Yeah.
Sort of true, but it's not true because the Nazis wouldn't have found Marion or how to find it without Indy knowing that Marion had a way to get to it.
Air 5.
So,
Air 5.
Fuck off, Big Bang Theory. You're wrong.
Yep.
They're wrong about everything, and that show shouldn't exist.
That show is fucking hilarious.
I actually enjoy that show.
The first 5 seasons.
That
show was pretty
show.
funny.
That show is basic nerd as fuck.
Yes, so.
It's basic.
What's
as shit.
what's wrong
You're a
with
basic
that?
German. What's the point?
It's a little bit of
Nazi?
stereotyping on nerd and everything.
It's not a little bit of stereotyping.
It's cheap. It's cheap puns, man. It's not even funny. Like,
So wait, so you're saying
What's
basically
wrong with cheap puns?
They're just pandering
Shakespeare
to
is
nerd
based
bases?
on cheap puns.
yeah, well, he's
All right.
talented.
Ultimately, what I've learned from Indiana Jones is the fact that from the film series moving forward is that if you want to do another Indiana Jones film, you got to have a really good script, a really good idea on why to put him back out on the horse. Because if it's like, there's a thing and you need to find it, that's not enough. You need to build it up more than that because the quest for more money has already been taken by Mel Brooks doing another Star Wars film. That's already been taken. So I will
Spaceballs.
not.
You mean Spaceballs?
Spaceballs.
No. He's doing another Spaceballs movie, and it's called the Funds Awaken: The Search for More Money or
Yeah,
something.
but you said Star Wars. He's doing other Spaceballs.
No, but I'm saying Mel Brooks is doing another Star Wars parody movie.
Yeah, Spaceballs
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So these are not parody movies. This is a continuation of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's true.
If you were to do a parody movie, go to town. Fuck yeah. But this is stuff that's connected to stuff that we absolutely love. You're going to get so much fucking backlash unless you have the right people in place doing the right thing with the right storyline to make this necessary. That's the trick. Make sure the storyline is necessary. Does Indiana Jones need to have another story? If you have a story where you have Clint Eastwood directing old Indiana Jones in a nursing home getting curmudgeonly because he can't walk well and he wants to go on adventures but he can't, I will watch the fuck out of that movie. I'll watch that better than a movie about Indiana Jones who should be incontinent finding the kingdom of Trump's fake wiretap calls.
But wasn't that basically what the Indiana Jones Chronicles was all about? I mean, that was old Indiana Jones, like with an eye patch, basically recalling old stories that happened that had nothing to do with the movie canon.
And still better than Crystal Skull. That's what I'm saying.
No, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, make it at least believable. Because Crystal Skull, there was nothing about that was believable to me. So we're at the tail end at this point, and we got to pee and smoke cigarettes and drink more beers. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Find us every week on GUIpodcast.com or on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, TuneIn, anywhere you get your podcasts. Follow us and join the conversation. Let us know what you want to hear on future episodes. You can also find us at geeksundertheinfluence@gmail.com. And as always, join us or die.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit.
Prepare to meet Kali.
Hey, Hobbit!
Join us or die! Join us or die! Or I will swallow your soul! Necronomicon gives us power to rise from the dead! able to resist. We're here to take the world and rule with an iron fist. So join us or die, join us or die, or I will swallow your soul.
GUIPodcast.com.